Hello, everyone. This is S from his podcast Cookin Pancakes. First of all, a big apology for going missing for 2 months, but thank you so much for loving the channel. We're almost at 4,000 subscribers. OMG, guys, itna pyar. Oof, what will I do with so much of love? But before I go ahead with today's video, a big happy Valentine's wish to all of my subscribers. I love you all so much. You guys are absolute rock stars. So today for Valentine's special, we have this little video where we are going to be talking about the best 5 fluff moments for Arnav and Khushi as well as for Akash and Payal. So if anyone does not know fluff, what is that? So fluff is a genre that common in fan fictions. It's only about happiness, romance, only sweetness, not a touch of angst, not a touch of anger or any other emotion involved in it. Since this is Valentine's, we have to celebrate our two cutest couples. Arnav and Khushi are there, but then Akash and Payal, they also serve as the perfect foil to this angsty, passionate love affair between their cousins. So, number one, at no particular order, one of my favorite scenes in this show is Arnav buying bangles for Khushi. It's actually a sequence. It is adorable because Sahibzada goes and buys bangles, but then he cannot admit the fact that he bought bangles, and he spends his entire time being very much the nephew of Detective Manorama Bond, trying to figure out whether or not Khushi wore his gifted bangles. And Khushi keeps on hiding it. And then she keeps on saying that, oh, these bangles are completely terrible. And he goes into a rage and they have the probably one of the cutest fights on screen.
क्या वो चूड़ियां आपने बेकार वाहियात और घटिया ना ठीक से हाथ पे बैठ रही है और ना रंग अच्छा।
अगर ये चूड़ियां इतनी नापसंद है तो इन्हें उतार।
और अगर अच्छी लग रही हो तो
पहले क्यों कहा कि?
क्योंकि हम चाहते थे कि आप मान लो कि आपने हमारे लिए चूड़ियां ली।
Absolutely worth watching. The next number one for Akash and Payal is Akash visiting the garage and Payal giving him a glass of water. It's something very small, but the scene is incredibly endearing because Akash specifically chooses to drive the car himself and take it to this one random auto repair shop in Lakshmi Nagar only because he knows that Payal's house is next to it. And he does nothing. He does not call Payal. He does not be like, hey, I want to talk to you. No, he just stands and he is again taken aback by how beautiful Payal looks. And Payal's shy smile when she gives him a glass of water and their fingers brush. Ugh, cuteness alert.
अरे साहब 2-3 दिन लग जाएगी गाड़ी ठीक करने में।
बहुत अच्छी बात है।
जी?
मैं भी क्या? Sorry.
Number 2 for Arnav and Khushi is Arnav setting up an impromptu date right after Khushi describes her amazing date to the Raizada family. So Arnav and Khushi are not a conventional pair. They do not date, they do not court each other. Their courtship probably lasts for 3 weeks before Akash and Payal's wedding. But it feels so warm that he hears everything Khushi says and then he makes sure that all of it comes true.
हम एक बड़े से होटल में खाना खाने गए थे और अर्नव जी ने हमारी सारी पसंद की चीजें मंगवाई। दिल्ली की चाट, हैदराबाद की बिरयानी, आगरा के पेठे, कोलकाता के रसगुल्ले।
ये सब तुम्हारी फेवरेट चीजें हैं ना?
Absolutely anyone watching the show needs to watch this scene. It's probably one of the best scenes Arnav and Khushi have post their remarriage. Number 2 for Akash and Payal is when Akash spots her in the market and he offers to buy vegetables so as to he can get the change for Payal to buy her 1 kg potatoes. I love this scene so much because you can understand that the biggest difference between both of them is class difference, and you can see how Akash tries to handle that situation without hurting Payal or by just making sure that Payal's self-respect does not get hurt in the process. So he knows she will not take money. So here's a man who earns millions of rupees. Here he is buying vegetables just because he can give Payal that 1 kg extra potato. And it's very sweet because this is one of the few scenes that shows their chemistry, that understanding between Akash and Payal, that, in my opinion, was heavily underused. And it was absolutely adorable to watch. That Akash Raizada is the perfect example of a gentleman.
हमारे घर में 3 बार आलू बनते हैं। खुशी को बहुत पसंद है ना, इसलिए।
और आपको?
110 रुपए हुए, ये लीजिए।
हमारे पास तो 100 ही रुपए।
अगर मैं यहाँ आ ही गया हूँ तो इस घर के लिए कुछ सब्जियां मैं भी ले लेता हूँ।
आकाश जी, शुक्रिया।
Number 3 for Arnav and Khushi, the morning of Akash and Payal's wedding. Absolutely, anyone, please, please just watch it. The whole thing of Arnav reaching Khushi's house, being absolutely smitten by the fact that she is telling people how to cook for Payal's for the wedding, and Khushi sensing him, and Arnav seeing it for the first time, that Khushi actually senses him even if she hasn't seen him. And he does not feel bad when someone calls him a waiter. He tucks away her loose strand, he teases her. She asks for a few leaf plates. He goes and brings a truckload of them. Khushi just stares at him at this, oh my god, I'm in love with him. And then when they go back home, Khushi actually chooses a sari that, like, he helps her in choosing a sari, and Khushi chooses the one that he wants. I think these moments, they are so sweet, so loving. Again, it's a very rare part of their relationship because we haven't seen them without this overwhelming passion or angst in the background. So something like this just fills your heart with joy because it's like these two babies are in love and you want to protect them at all costs. It is the most nascent stage of their relationship. Number 3 for Akash and Payal is the New Year Eve's promise. I believe, in my opinion, New Year's Eve itself was one of the best track in IPK. Given the characters were so dynamic and so different from each other, having them all interacting with each other was just a joy to watch. I will not comment on the comedy itself because that whole episode has its own dedicated, I don't know, 30 minutes of discussion because it was that fabulous. But I love the fact that Akash takes this moment to promise to Payal that she will not lose her individuality and her family is as important as his. And I think that's what matters, that he understands what's affecting her and he will do things outside his comfort zone to make sure that she feels better about what's happening.
ऐसा नहीं सोचेंगी कि आप अपने परिवार से पराई हो रही। जैसे आप मेरे परिवार का हिस्सा बन रही हैं, वैसे ही मैं भी आपके परिवार का हिस्सा बन रहा हूँ। हम किसी को नहीं खोने वाले, हम सिर्फ एक दूसरे को पाने वाले। मेरे लिए आपकी खुशी से बढ़कर कुछ भी नहीं।
Number 4 is Khushi making pancakes for Arnav. Hands down, my favorite scene. One of the only good scenes that these two have post Sham getting kicked out of the house forever. It is such a domestic scene, and if I ever had to understand how Arnav and Khushi would be after their marriage, because we didn't see a lot of it, how would their healthy relationship be? One without any shadows of the past or any scheming villain in the background. Then it's this little pancake moment. Arnav is so amused. It's her unpredictability that makes him fall in love with her. And you can see that for Khushi, acts of service, feeding him, is her basic way of saying, I love you. And I think it was so cute to watch that he is so engaged in her 101 tales of what happened in the day, what all she has to do. You see, Kushi, I always believed that she was very stifled in her home because there were certain expectations that people wanted her to meet as a young Indian sanskari woman. But with Arnav, who himself does not believe in unnecessary pressure of the society to be raised in a certain way, I think with him she finds this freedom to just be her own chatterbox self. He never admonishes her for talking too much. He never admonishes her for being a bundle of joy in the morning. In fact, he looks forward to it. That is where I know that Arnav and Kushi have lived happily ever after.
हाँ क्यों?
हाँ क्यों? तुम्हें याद नहीं पिछली बार क्या हुआ था?
तब हम आपसे कितना डरते थे ना? अब नहीं डरते? हाँ नहीं डरते?
प्रूव करो।
नहीं डरते।
So now we come to number 4 of Akash and Payal, and that is their honeymoon night. Okay, first of all, the comedy over here was so well written because they were such a contrast to Arnav and Kushi trying to get out of their rooms. But also, this is where we saw the relationship between Akash and Payal as husband and wife, something we haven't seen too much. And I think it is so cute because we see that Akash, for all his niceness and his calmness and his maturity, he's a bit of a flirt. And you see this humor in this relationship. There are inside jokes. And the fact that they refer to Akash's pants being stuck on the chair once again, it is something that couples do to bring up inside jokes in such a way. And that Akash decided to stand up and run behind her. I'm just like, oh my god, I want to watch more of this chemistry. I need to see more of this healthy relationship.
डर लग रहा है। ऐसे मुझे तो ये अंधेरा बहुत पसंद है।
क्यों? हमारा चेहरा देखना ना पड़े इसलिए?
नहीं, ताकि तुम मुझे यूं घूरते हुए पकड़ ना सको।
Number 5 for Arnav and Khushi is the conversation that they have under the blanket right after they've gotten married. Again, communication has not been best between this couple. We have not seen them exchange healthy communications about the relationship and talk about it even in the first place. What Khushi expects from this relationship, what Arnav wants, and all of that. So this scene comes as such a gentle surprise because there's so much going on. There is like the whole Garma thing being exposed, Dadi being a piece of crap, and Sham still loitering in the house. But this one conversation, you get to see Arnav, you get to see the companionship between Arnav and Khushi, you get to see the friendship between them, and you get to see the humor. And it is so cute because it just takes away my heart.
कभी-कभी हमें ये भारी दुनिया बड़ी अजीब लगती है।
या शायद भारी दुनिया के लिए तुम बहुत अजीब हो। Hey, by the way, हो ही गई।
क्या?
हमारी शादी, फेरे, सारी रस्में।
And number 5 for Akash and Payal, sudden office date. Post their wedding and like after the honeymoon phase and everything, this is the one scene that is so cute between them, and I wish it was longer. They actually suffer very usual marital issues that's there between any couple, and it's increased workload. So Arnav is not in town. Akash has had to handle multiple things, and we can see that drive a wedge of distance between Akash and Payal, and therefore multiple common things such as not showing up for commitments, not showing up for dinner, spending less time with your wife. All of these things are happening, and it's very easy for a relationship to lose its flavor when all of this happens. Therefore, my heart just fills with so much of joy when Akash tries to make up for everything. And he makes this little presentation slide where he first lets Payal believe that he did have dinner without her. And then he has this little video presentation where he apologizes, not just for the fact that he had dinner alone, which he did not, but also that he's aware of the fact that he's been absent of late. And I think it's that awareness that saves any and every kind of relationship. Again, this is a couple I wanted to see more on screen because there was something so sweet and realistic about them.
आपने हमसे झूठ क्या बोला है?
कि मैंने खाना खा लिया। सॉरी, वो कैंटीन में बस यही बचा था।
कोई बात नहीं, हमने आपके लिए घर का बहुत अच्छा खाना लाया। चलिए।
So, yeah, that's my top 10 list of the fluffiest scenes in IPK, including both of our favorite couples. And please write down in the comments what else you would like to see. Episode number 19 will be coming up shortly. I will bring back all the episodes. I'm trying to work around a few things. Maybe you guys will like what I'm bringing onto the plate. But yes, thank you so much for all of your love, your comments. I read every one of them. All your likes, it all matters. Thank you for giving me such a wonderful community. Lots of love to all of you. I hope you all had a great time. See you next week. Bye bye.